Hello everyone, this is Anshika Gupta. I'm a full stack web developer and a software engineer. I'm a content writer and I'm a mentor too. I've trained a lot of students till now. I'm a tech savvy and always develop to excel more. So we're gonna study about what the Python from the playlist of the starting. So in this case, what we're gonna study about is just a brief introduction about the Python. What is Python? Who introduced Python? What are the benefits of Python? Then we will be moving forward to the more of the terms we can introduce. Another part we will learn about the syntax, the comments, how to comment a Python part. And moreover, a variables, data types, then a lot of along with the projects in that. The boolean strings and all and the sequence part. I told you, like we will be studying the program wise program, so I'll be introducing more of the terms so that you can grab it soon. Let's move on to the Python part 1. So a very first question arrives in your mind as what is actually a Python? How we use the Python? What are the benefits of Python? What are the advantages of Python? And what are the obviously the disadvantages of Python? Everything has a pros and cons in itself. So by starting, what is actually a Python is? Yeah. So the Python is a cross programming language. It is a general purpose programming language which is oftenly applied to a lot of scripting roles. Now it comes like with what else is required for running a multiple programs in one sequence. So Python is a programming language as well as the scripting language. It is also known as the interpreted language, and moving forward Python is obviously running on multiple platforms that are Mac, Linux, Windows and many more. Moreover, the Python was much more interactive part of the Java and .NET, which is the virtual machines. In this century, the Python is most used and it is the most benefited language around. Now comes what is the actual difference between the program as well as the scripting language. So a program is executed only, that is a source is first compiled and the result of the compilation is expected. Whereas in scripting, a script is interpreted, means if I'll say you that the code I have to write in a scripting language, that means that only and only the scripted language is there. But a type of programming language in which we can write actually the code to control another software application is there. Whereas in our program is just in general, which means it is a sequence of instructions written in lot of computers and lot of machines to perform a particular task in that. Even we know nowadays we have a MacBooks, we have a Windows laptop and we have a Linux laptop. So everywhere Python is pre-installed. Okay, the version might be out, the latest version is I guess 3.9. The version every time it has to be changed, and Python is free and open source. Now let me tell you how to install the Python IDE. First of all, go to your Chrome, any web browser, type there the Python download, and here you can see the https www.python.org. Just click this first one, and after that this yellow button is your download. When you download it out, there are few steps to just click on to complete the formalities as an instruction part. So when the software is actually downloaded, it will seems like that. Like this it will seems you out. Okay, this is in Python IDE. We will talk about this later on also. Now moving forward to what is actually the history. What is the easiest way to run a Python? How the Python has become a most genuine and the most running language nowadays. So history behind the Python is that it is invented in Netherlands. It invented in 90s by Guido van Rossum. Python was coined and conceived in late 1980s whereas it has implemented in December 1989. When Guido van Rossum went to an museum or a circus that was an Monty Python flying circus. It is a very famous show in Netherlands. After that, he named it as an Monty Python. It was actually an open source from the beginning itself. Nowadays also it's completely open sourced part. Now what is the best way to run IDE, to run Python is like you have to first of all download it, just to that, and after that run the compilations, and after that open it. It will just similar look like to this part. It will appear this. Okay, more oftenly when you will be seeing this, it has been completely a good packages, even though I'll make you understand how to install the pip and all. Now comes is the why the Pythons is benevolent dictator for life, why it is important, what it is there that it makes it so specially, and even though the convenience part. So the Python was the first experiment or to know about what actually programmers need. So it became the freedom to the programmers who want to actually code in that. It was not much expensive, but it was little. And moreover, what was the science? What was the technology behind creating a Python? So it was just original motivation came from the Guido van Rossum when he went to a circus, and he saw that okay, this will run in the operating system to run a projects, to run a lot of bounty parts, and declare the most of the declarations in that. So he thought just let's implement it out to build a wide bridge between the sea and the shell. So Python nowadays is a language which builds a large bridge between C, Shell or Java, .NET and a lot. This is actually said by the Guido van Rossum. Now in upcoming future, if we say what is the more of the benefit of a Python, because everything has in pros and cons, and everything nowadays has become a largely part of your organizations to bring more of the opportunities in that. So the scope of Python was in science, in your system administration, in your web application development, in your CGI and Python, servlets and testing scripts. In your science, it was bioinformatics. In your system administration, it was Unix, WebLogics, WebSpheres, and in your web application development, it is CGI, and in your servlets and all. So the Python nowadays also prior also it was working in a GUI and GUI, graphical user interface, and it has a vast scope of your Python in your upcoming. Nowadays we use a vast libraries because Python is rich of libraries and all. It has then basically uh, more of the scope, little of your worries in it. So what actually now comes a question, what actually we can do with Python. Now, when you purchase some of your softwares or any of that, so you have a question in your mind that what we can do with software, what benefit we are gonna get from this software and that. So this was the reason behind the Guido and Rasam, that what actually people can do with a Python, what actually people gonna get a benefit in that. So it was just a procedure to calculate So the first benefit or the first the want we want to do is a system programming. Second is our graphical user interface programming. And our third is the internet scripting. Fourth one is component integration. Fifth one is database programming. And sixth one is gaming, image, XML files, robots, and many more. It is highly beneficial language to pursue with, and the most genuine also, because nowadays everyone is liking your Python and everyone is working in a Python as in very much organizations. So moreover, moving to next is why we use Python today. Why we use the Python the few years back also, and why we are gonna use the Python in our upcoming centuries also. So the very first point of this is that Python is most applied language. Okay, and it is we can say that it is the rich in your real revenue to generate some products. If I'll say that I'm investing in something, what I'll be getting is I'll obviously getting some revenue in that. Okay, now I'll give an example. Uh, when you go to the vegetable stockers or any of that, or in the market also, what you ask for, like what is the cost of the particular apple and what will be in the bulk. Okay, this is what you say to a vegetable seller. Second one is Google makes an extensive use of Python, in which the web search is also there, employs Python creators are also there, even we people are also using that. Third one is Intel, Cisco, HP, Seagate, Qualcomm, and IBM also uses the Python for hardware testing. So even hard companies are also using. There is nothing else to know that okay we are using, why we are using, or any of that. No, even that the companies who want the packages and all, they are also using in that. Next part is ISRE uses the Python for customization tool and for mapping products. Number fifth is the YouTube videos. What we use the nowadays the YouTube video sharing services and all that all comes to our Python part. Now the sixth part is that Python is object oriented. This is important because every time people look for the Python operators or any of that, or the keywords or any particular databases and all, because Python is actually object oriented. Okay, now what is object oriented or how it supports it? It it is just a structure to support your concept, that is your polymorphism, your operations, your overloading, your multiple inheritance in that. And most importantly it is that it's a free and available everywhere. It is an open source, you can download it, you can install it just for free. Okay, and this is the easy source code to assess that. Okay, and it is very much easy to use. And moreover, if you don't want to install this Python part, you can also go to Sublime Text. Okay, you can go over here and you can download for Windows. Okay, and even though it is available for Mac too. Okay, and it is very much correct part to use to that. Even though you can go to PyCharm. Similarly, go download it and use it. Most importantly is VS Code. It's a code editing redefined. Okay, you can download over here. You can download the stable build. You can download the Mac OS also in your Universal Part stable or Insiders part, in your Windows x64, in your Linux x64 and all. In your PyCharm also you can go over here, download for free. Just don't go with the paid ones. Download for free, get it, install it, run it, and you run your programs. So it comes a very much important part in your Python is to run a program. Now how to run a program and what is the basic strategies for running a program. So for running a program, a very simple program I'll share with you, and everyone before starting writing learning about the course or any of that or language, use this program that is Hello World. And this is our first step to run a program. Why we use it, how we use it, that we will be learning it out. So very first program we're going to learn about is our print Hello World. So for printing anything anywhere, just go with your double columns, okay, single column, triple column. We're gonna understand in our next slides. If I'll say hello world, okay, and then I'll enter it out and print it, and you can see that it is the print hello world and the output is there as in hello world. Now again, if I'll make an understanding about print geeks for again, your point is there, okay. And similarly we have in this part also in command prompt, similarly we can perform in this. When I'll write the Python here, it will appear, it will take to you as in part of your Microsoft or any other, and similarly it will happen there also. And when you'll write the Python, it will give you that brackets and you can run your program, and it's a command prompt also, okay. Even though you can go with online compilers too, as in Programmies or any of that, or GeeksforGeeks compiler is also there and all, but we will for mostly using everything in that. Now comes is your portable things and your powerful things. Obviously I told you a lot of benefits about using Python. So powerful dynamic typing, built-in type and tools, library utilities, third parties utilities, automatic memory part is there. In third parties, what it is SciPy, it's NumPy, it's numeric, okay. And why it is portable? uh, Portable, we can say that we run virtually everywhere, every singular platform we use Python today, okay. The way you take your laptop anywhere without, like, the prior time there was a computer such in heavy bulk they were not able to carry also. Nowadays you take your laptops as in the way part, okay. So similarly to that, it is virtually available everywhere today. And as long as your compatibility with your Python interpreters are installed, your Python programs are ready to run exactly the same way, same manner, whatever the other platforms are doing. If even you are being starting with your a singular program that is hello world and moving towards the higher projects, it's completely same. This program we ran now only, okay. About the hello world, this is the one program, one interpreter, one command every language used to run about. Now how it happens, what is the procedure, what is the basic stages of that when you and your data transformation or any of that, when you clean your data, when you run your data, when you store your data, okay. That is just similar to this. Now if I have a container and that is completely empty, now if I put some vegetables or some like sweets in that box, okay, it will fill up to the brim, the quantity it have, okay. Then I'll close it. What it will have happen, it will automatically store your vegetables and keep it until you use it, okay. Similarly to your Python code execution is there, like Python isn't just a traditional runtime execution model. Source code is always being translated to the bytecode, then that is being run by the Python virtual machine, that is also known as PVM. The code will automatically compiled, but then it will be interpreted too. The file of Python is always and always saved by .py. that is the extension to save the source code extension to save your file. Okay, and if you want to store or if you want to have a compiled Python code, that would be used as the Python or the bytecode extension .pyc. Okay, in the pyc, that is the bytecode, in .py, that is the source. And when the runtime will be happening, it will be happening in Python virtual machine, that is known as the PVM. Okay, that how the stage is formed: source, bytecode, runtime. Just remember 3 steps: source, bytecode, and runtime. The data is already given. Now you save that data in your .py, either .pyc, that it will run in your PVM. Now similarly the structure is being done like the same we used to store a file, that .py file, that is the program also, or we can say the script or a module. This feature is often used to provide the regression test for the modules. That is that when the module is executed as a program, the regression test is executed. But when the module is imported, the test functionality is not executed properly. Now what happens is sometimes when we use keywords or when we use identifiers, keywords in Python is just reserved words in the Python. If your name, suppose if your name is only and only XYZ, but you mention that you won't use that word again and again, or nobody can call you with another name, that is just in fixed. Similarly to this, that keywords are just in fixed part, a reserved part in your Python. Moreover, when we see this as an correctivity part, we cannot use. Okay, keyword we cannot use, either false. There are a lot of keywords. There are 33 keywords in Python. The 33 words are I'm telling to you, it is only and only in the Python 3.7. There are a lot of changes in a Python program and that keywords too. So there are 33 keywords in Python. Some of them I'll pronounce it, that is await, that is false, else, import. Import we use a lot. Okay, none, break, expect, except, in, for, while, class, continue, true, false, there is, def, del, elif, if, else, that is a lot. Okay, now what is lines and indentations? Now how we use lines and how we use indentations. Now Python provides no braces to indicate blocks of code or any of the class or any of the function or any of the definitions in that. It is just in flow control. The blocks of a code are denoted by line. Okay, it is just an indentation which is rigidly enforced. So the indentation we use in a 4 byte. That is either we can use by 4, 8, 6, 12, 16, that is just in all statements with a block that has to be indented with the same amount. Okay, let's know about the what is indentations and all. If I'll use this, that if a is equals to 10, okay, you can see when if is there, so after that the curly braces, there are 4 gaps. 1, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, nothing else will be there. Okay, would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the indentation part, and here the gap of between this is 4. Okay, now if I'll print this or any of that, okay, it will give me the indentation error. Simply I'll give it print a and run this, it will give me that the line 2a is not valid. Or I'll give this. Okay, still I'll perform one more example in your indentation part. I hope the indentation has been able to get to you. That indentation refers to adding the white spaces before a statement. Okay, but the question arises is that is it required, is it necessary, or how we can pronounce it or how we can use it. So very simple example we're gonna perform is showing you the indentation. What is indentation? For commenting part you use the hash. For commenting part you use the hash. If I'll say that my name, okay, like I'll take this name as in GFT. If I'll say that I'm using the loop. Loop you definitely will be learning in upcoming videos. If I'll say that if my name is equals to GFG. This is the condition I'm putting, like अगर मेरा name GFG to GFG है तो क्या होगा if, ठीक है. My name, that C, if I'll enter this, it would be in between. This is the indentation. It will print. That's good. Okay. Either I can go with that else part, that print this or print else. Else print goodbye. Okay. If I'll run this, that's good. Okay, else that is the goodbye. This is how you pronounce it. If I'll add one more, okay. If I'll say that, okay, print beautiful name. Okay, again it will come to that's good and that's a beautiful name. Okay, this is how you mention your indentation. This is the line just I have wrote to print my name and the goodbye or any of that, as in that's good. This is just your indentation. I have said you to learn how to use it. Most of the programming language in your C and C++ and Java, that only and only uses your curly braces to define a block of code. But Python uses your indentation. There is a difference between both, that they use the curly braces and this uses an indentation, and also to highlight the block of code. I hope this is clear to you. The indentation part is also clear to you. Thank you.